Gonna wait for people to come on. If you're here, let us know. This is the new spring fashion of 2020. I'm going to share this while we're waiting. Where's my share button? Get out of here. Where's it at? Whoop. Let us know if you're watching. We're waiting a little bit till we get some folks on. And sorry, we've got traffic running in the background. Here we go. I'm gonna share this. I can't breathe in this thing anymore.
What are you doing?
I'm breathing now.
Are you trying to practice good social distancing?
Yeah, I reckon.
What a burger. What a burger. What a good representation you are showing to all of our viewers. Yay. Please say hello as you're hopping on so that we know you're hopping on. We're coming from a remote location because we still don't have internet at our house.
Day 19.
Yeah, almost day 20. For those of y'all that don't know, our area was hit by several tornadoes on Easter Sunday evening, and a lot of mess out there. It took us about a week or so to actually get electricity up and running, and we've been without internet for, like she said, going on 19 days. So we are out here borrowing internet in Dayton, Tennessee. Squatters.
Say hey, let us know you're on.
I'm really lucked out. I mean, there's a lot of people I work with that completely lost their homes in those tornadoes. So before we get started, huge thoughts and prayers and blessings out to those people that are having to deal with that right now. A lot of people don't have homes, or what homes they have are just barely standing. Shout out to all the work crews and people that are out there helping too. A lot of volunteering, a lot of good things happening. That's not the only positive that you can say coming out of a disaster like that, is watching people come together as a whole to help out. And that's been really inspiring, even in the midst of all this COVID-19 stuff. Which the hair salons are opening in a week. This Wednesday. You can tell I need a haircut really bad. All right. Please like and share the video. Please say something. Let us know you're here. We like to say hello. We don't bite much. If you're a steak, that's a different story.
And we are in
we are in.
the sticks. So,
Yeah.
internet may be a little funky.
Yeah, let us know if you have a hard time hearing, a hard time seeing. Well, I'm kind of waiting on somebody to kind of give us a thumbs up now.
Here we go.
They can hear us.
Jennifer says, I'm here. Nick says, who needs the internet anyways? Am I right? Well, I need it because I've got some school assignments to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't care.
Oh, there we go. Because I was wondering why I wasn't seeing any comments either.
I guess it's not going to show up on our...
No, so I'll have to... Between the two of us, we'll monitor what we've got. Yeah, Nick. Well, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't be able to catch up on The Mandalorian or Clone Wars. Leah wouldn't be able to watch her Netflix or her...
No, Leah needs to write her school papers because her class is in next week.
I thought they just started. I can't keep up with your school schedule. You're graduating this year, right?
Yes.
There's actually a story behind that. We won't go into it. So we'll just go ahead and, unless you want to wait a little bit longer, we go ahead and kind of get things kicked off here.
We got some folks, so let's go.
Got some folks.
I need to watch the latest Clone War episode.
Nick, I'm so far behind, it's not even funny.
Oh heavens, whatever will we do?
I got to know what happens before Star Wars starts.
Brother.
Alright. So,
So,
trying to come up with an idea for the topic for this month. I happened to look through the calendar of dates coming up, and of course today is May 1st, it's first of the month, that's when we do our newsletter. And I happened to notice that May 3rd, coming up in 2 days, is a really big day for people like us. It is national, like us, like you that watch. No, May 3rd is considered National Paranormal Day.
I didn't know it was a thing.
I didn't either, till I looked it up. Thought it was kind of interesting, so I tried to do some digging in. And the interesting thing is, nobody really knows how it got started. It's an unofficial holiday. I mean, it's not celebrated by the government or anything. I mean, write into Trump if you want it to be, but good luck. But it's meant to celebrate and encourage, paranormal phenomena. People go out and do ghost hunts and, unfortunately, we don't condone this, do seances, Ouija boards, and all this stuff.
No.
But, they go out and try to do something, involving, paranormal. I know last year I put 2 and 2 together and realized this is what it was. Last year, Facebook Live had a bunch of live investigations going on at the same time on May 3rd for National Paranormal Day, and it was considered the largest online ghost hunt in the world at the time. So that was kind of interesting. But no one really knows why the May 3rd was decided upon. The first mention of the holiday was in 2009. It was mentioned on Twitter. Was the first place that it ever got mentioned, and then as of 2014, it was put on the National Day calendar. That was in July 2014. So that's when it started becoming more officially unofficial, if that makes sense. The only theory that I could find, because like I said, I did a lot of digging, did a lot of different research on the significance of why, May 3rd, and no one really knows, except evidently a famous radio show that some people may be aware of called Coast to Coast AM. The host of that show theorized that it was chosen because a man by the name of Charles Fort died on May 3rd back in 1932. Isn't that fascinating?
Never heard of him.
No, I hadn't either. So I was like, who is Charles Ford?
You go, Charles.
So thank Charles, you have caused Paranormal Day just because you died. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Ryan Peters jumped on. Hey Ryan, how you doing today, sir?
Sears.
Here. So, I'm having to look at my notes here because, like I said, I didn't know who Charles Fort was, didn't know anything about the man. He was born in 1874 and died May 3rd, 1932. He was an American writer and a researcher. He specialized in anomalous phenomena, fancy term for the supernatural. His most famous work is a book called the Book of the...
What?
I'm sorry, I was just censoring myself. It's called the Book of the Damned. I know, right? It's one of his most...
How dare you? You could have spelled it.
D-A-M-N-E-D.
Oh. Oh, heavens.
Anyway. So... Whenever...
Can't say those words.
That's actually his most famous work. Most people know him by. If they know him, again, never heard of it. But I had heard of this terminology before, Fortean. It's used to characterize various phenomena, the same phenomena that he wrote about, and people that follow his belief system and whatnot. They are called Forteans, and it's spelled, I'll spell this, F-O-R-T-E-A-N. I've seen that word in print before when talking about different types of science fiction writings, anything supernatural. It's called the Fortean style.
Huh.
A lot of his books are still sold in print. What he is famous for, I'm going to read this off here. Most of his books had many occurrences of the occult, including supernatural things, paranormal, reported events, including teleportation, a term that he is generally credited with inventing.
Interesting.
So Mr. Charles Fort invented teleportation.
I wonder where he is now.
I know. Maybe he...
Anyway.
Bad joke.
Anyway.
Do you think he was astral projecting or teleporting? If somebody out there can tell me the difference between astral projecting and teleporting, please post it. I'd like to know.
Only Chuckles knows.
And nobody knows where he's at because he teleported. Anyway, let's see. He wrote about spontaneous human combustion, ball lightning.
Ball lightning?
Ball lightning, a term explicitly used by him. So the term, are you familiar with ball lightning?
No.
Ball lightning, it's a form of the lightning you see in the sky, but I don't know exactly the science behind it. But instead of it coming down as an arc of electricity, it forms like an orb, a lighted orb. It's science. You can look it up.
An orb.
An orb, a real orb.
Those are my favorite.
I know, because they are so proof of a haunting.
Anyway.
Let's see, poltergeist events, unaccountable noises, explosion, levitations, unexplained disappearances. I mean, you get the gist. He wrote about everything. But the thing that he actually was most known for, and let me add a disclaimer here, this is not a usual topic for us. We have gotten calls about things like this before, but it's not generally something that we have dealt with or really... Go ahead. I know you're fixing to say something.
If you don't like it, it was his idea. I want to throw that in there.
She approved it, so I mean, it's a two.
No.
She could have told me we could talk about something completely different, but no. All right, so he, so you got me so thrown off now. He was big into UFOs. He actually was considered the he was the credited with the hypothesis, the first person with the hypothesis of alien abduction.
Interesting.
Which, again, I thought was always a thing. But it says he was the first person to explain strange human appearances and disappearances through alien abduction. So somebody disappeared, they came back, and they couldn't explain whereabouts. They've been abducted by aliens.
I wonder why he used that theory when he evidently was a Kickstarter of teleportation. Why didn't they just teleport somewhere?
But maybe you know, you can teleport back and forth from an alien craft. I mean, Star Trek has taught us that. So, but I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, why would you not say that someone had teleported back and forth? I even tried to throw some Bible into it and see if maybe, to see if, you know, because I mean, there were times in the Bible where we heard about people being teleported. I mean, you know, Jesus disappeared in the midst of a crowd that was trying to throw him over the edge near Nazareth. There was, I think it was Philip that was in one place, and then God took him somewhere else. I can't quote all this right off the top of my head, but I mean, so teleportation, I mean, was a thing even in the Bible, even though it wasn't called specifically teleportation. But evidently, Mr. Charles Fort was an agnostic. So there was no, he was just based on reading what all he was about with the sci-fi and all that stuff. I mean, he was, very much into, I guess, a man that, I don't want to say he believed what he had to see what he could believe, but I mean, because he obviously didn't see anybody teleport. I don't know. He could have.
I wonder if these were based on his own personal experiences.
That's possible. It's very possible. Ryan says teleportation is fully body moving. Astral projection is soul mind movement. You know, Ryan, that really makes sense. Didn't think about that. Teleportation is the whole you.
Right. It's the physical being moved,
Right.
where the astral is supposed to be the spiritual mind. Yeah.
Okay. Learn something every day.
Right on.
Right on, Ryan. So anyway, he was a very early proponent of extraterrestrial hypothesis, believed in strange lights in the sky, attributed them to UFOs, extraterrestrial alien spacecraft, all of that stuff.
Interesting.
So, where I'm going with this is actually it's kind of a two-pronged hypothesis. Now, this is not something that I really thought was a thing. In my youth, I believed, I guess I don't want to say I believed, I wanted to believe that there were things out there, there were other creatures, aliens, something like that. I mean, I'm into sci-fi. I mean, I got Superman on, I watch Star Wars, all this stuff. I like science fiction things, so part of me wanted to believe that E.T. was out there flying around in a little spacecraft. I have admitted that I've seen things in the sky. Leah and I both have seen things that we really can't explain. We don't have answers for. As I got older, I come to the realization that the majority of what we see, or what we have witnessed as what we would call UFOs or anything like that, have either been hoaxes or experimental government aircraft. I'm sorry, I don't think that there's any aliens slapped up at Area 51. It's just where the government does all their black ops projects. Although if you took part in that raid on Area 51 back in earlier into last year or whatever, hey, mad props, cool, whatever you want to do. But I don't think ET's there.
Well, no, not E.T., but that one alien creature, from the Indiana Jones movie, it's definitely there.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Why? Y'all just should have left it at The Last Crusade. We didn't need the fourth movie. We didn't need it.
I mean, who knows?
So, and there's supposed to be a fifth one coming out. Anyway.
Is there?
Yeah, they're making a fifth one.
Is Harrison Ford going to be in it?
Yeah, he might be in a walker or a wheelchair by then, but he'll definitely be in it.
That's not nice.
Anyway.
Jeez.
I know, it's hateful. It's just pure hatefulness. So, anyway, the theory here is that, and I didn't realize that this was a big thing. I actually heard it from one person that Leah and I had gone to church with. He shared this information with us.
Ah.
And then when he first said it, and I'm holding off for a reason here, I was just like, well, that's kind of crazy. But, okay, maybe. And then the more I started digging and talking to people throughout the years, I found that there's a lot of people that buy into this. And the more I read about it, I can't confirm or deny. It's a plausibility. And that is that when people have what they believe, and again, I'm using that term lightly, what they believe is an alien encounter. They are dealing with a demonic entity because they are, we know demons are supernatural. They are not of this world. They can come into this world and whatnot. Extra dimensional, I think, is the term I'm looking for here. And
let's do a disclaimer. We're not saying that everything is demonic.
Right. But this theory I thought was
track
interesting.
With us
right.
for a minute.
I thought this theory was really interesting. That a lot of these accounts of when people have been abducted or they've had an altercation, an incident with an alien being, it kind of lines up with how certain demonic activity has occurred. Now, on the flip side of that, those of you that are familiar with the book of Ezekiel in the Bible, there is a description of, short form, it's the chariot that is bringing the throne of God. And it talks about cherubim, and most people will know the story as Ezekiel's wheel. And it has been a long held theory, and I knew about this one, that what Ezekiel saw was a UFO. So now let's flip that one on its head. Instead of what Ezekiel saw seeing a UFO, let's say Ezekiel saw what the Bible says he saw, which is what I believe. Maybe when people see lights in the sky or the circular craft, things of that nature, maybe what they're seeing is angelic activity.
There's so many possibilities.
Right. I actually even read a theory that maybe what we're seeing when we see lights in the sky that we don't understand is we're seeing the heavenly, the battle in the heavenly places. The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but spirits, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to just keep it short here. But there is a battle. There's always a battle going on in the heavenlies. It's part of the aspect of spiritual warfare, and maybe that's what we're seeing. I don't know. I did pull up of this plane. Man, Ryan's got all these good words I can't think of.
What's he saying?
When I was trying to say extra dimensional, he said they're not of this plane.
Oh. What he said?
What he said. So I went online and I started looking up some things, and I got a few talking points here that I want to go over, and I just kind of want people's feedback on this, because I'm not sold either way. Like I said, I can see it. I believe that just one of the theories, this is not on my notes, but one of the theories that the person that told us about it is if you ever notice that whenever aliens abduct someone, generally there is some sort of removal process of just lost my train of thought here. There's usually some sort of, and again, lightly used term here, something sexual that has been done. There's a removal of some type of seed or the egg or something like that, whether it be male or female. There is some sort of extraction process that occurs on that. And the thought is that if you remember back in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, when it talks about the angels coming down and having children with the daughters of men, they're trying to do that again, is that theory, is that they are extracting the seed and the egg or whatever, and they're trying to make a hybrid again, which is what a lot of people believe the giants, the race of giants, the Nephilim were, is that they, or the Anakim, I'm sorry, that those were the children of human women and angels that had taken on a physical form.
I thought it was the fallen angels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those angels had taken a physical form to breed with human women, and then the giants came from that.
And that's where all our mythology came from, where they were actually, instead of, like Zeus and Hercules, they were actually people, but they were the giants. So, but yeah, and that I was going to track somewhere with that, but it completely left my mind. But yeah, I mean, do you think that that's something that is?
It's plausible because
I don't know if I.
Well, I say only because in that day and age, I mean, I don't want to say that people were. I don't want to say they were less intelligent. I mean, it was still not like a primitive society like bows and arrows and all stuff like that, but it was a society that if they're interacting with somebody that is, 9, 10, 15, 20 feet tall, and these people have, an abundance of strength, and you see what you got, I mean, you could be intimidated into believing that person was a god.
Oh, sure. But I mean, I'm talking about the theory that is what's trying to happen again now. Like people saying that they're being abducted by aliens, that it's trying to start another race of giants or something.
Well, I've also heard that it's also an attempt to bring about the Antichrist.
Well, oh boy.
So.
Okay.
Guys, please chime in. What do you think?
I mean, we're
We're
going over different theories and thought processes. It's not something that we're just...
Yeah, this one's a little bit different than most of the lives that we do.
Typically we have a line of, okay, here's truth, biblically based truth. We're just discussing theories.
Yeah, this is a truly a discuss. We wanted to do this. I've been wanting to do a live like this for a while. Instead of us doing a presentation of here's the information, it's just like here's what we're being told. Now, what do people think of it? Yeah, I saw Jack out on the beach today, shaking a fist at you, sir. I hope you're having a good time, though.
And then Ryan said Titans.
Yeah, the Titans in Greek mythology were Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong here, they were the Titans bore the gods. The Titans were like big bigs, the big bads, and then the gods came from the Titans. I haven't seen Clash of the Titans in a long time. So...
I remember the mechanical owl.
Oh, that was terrible. And when they did the remake, they brought it back. Jack, where is that anyway? Where is Perdido Key, if I'm saying that right? Where is that located? I didn't know. It's basically a place?
Basilically.
He's in the Basilically Islands.
So, what were your other theories?
All right, so I'm going to go over some topics I pulled here, and some of these I had to throw in because I was just like, really? And thank you, Pinterest, for some of these.
Oh my gosh. Is that where you got this from?
No, not all of it. But like seriously, when I was doing my research for these, because I'm like, I want to find the most outlandish thing. Because
I wish you had kept that secret. It's like, yeah, we got all of our facts from WikiHow, and yeah, we're good.
Nah, man, I use
our intense scientific research.
I use WikiLeaks, and no, I use what were those websites called? GeoCities and AngelFire. Those are the websites that I find that are the most important. Oh wait a minute, Nick has posted something. Or do you want to read that, or do you want? Shall I?
My thing is, per Nick, is that the devil and demons' main goal isn't to lead us to be super terrible people, but to just distract us from God as truth. To me, ghosts, UFOs, and abductions are distractions getting people to look in other areas for meaning and purpose. I think that's a very valid,
Yes.
A very valid comment or thought process. Reason being is, I mean, the greatest weapon that the devil wants is for you to think that he doesn't exist. So let's try to think of other theories and other ideas that would explain it to be everything but him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, the devil himself, I can't remember where this is in the Bible. I can't, again,
He went on Pinterest.
I went on Pinterest. The Pinterest Bible said the devil, Satan himself becomes an angel of light. So he even projects himself as something that could be good or, semi-decent, or at least, again, taking focus off, the fact that he's supposed to be evil, or taking your face from trying to seek God, that kind of thing. Very, very valid. Pinterest. All right, so something I've already kind of touched base on.
And if we get too dark, let us know. You should see the setup we have.
Yeah.
We'll turn on a light if we need to.
Do I need to turn on a light, guys?
I've got this rig. I have, I don't know, what do you call it? One of those little...
It's a phone wallet.
A phone wallet. And so I have like the little magnetic piece hanging through the blind string. And then I have it held up on the bottom with, I don't know, some kind of cologne bottle or something that I found on this dresser. And so we have it propped up in the window. So if we get too dark, let us know, and we'll reconfigure and turn on a light where you can see us.
The cologne is called Jupe.
Yeah.
J-O-P?
I'm sure it's probably an off-brand. I don't know. It's my dad. Hi, Kathleen.
So, the top thing that I found that I thought was kind of interesting, the aliens of our time match the demons and fallen angels mentioned in the Bible in terms of their behavior. And Nick hit the nail on the head on that one, because it's a way of acting from God. Most of the time, anytime you saw demonic activity or something like that, it was a way of trying to take the focus off of God, take people away from believing in Jesus, things like that. So we've kind of already covered the basis on that one. This one, I can't buy this one at all. Like the Bible predicts, aliens never affirm the deity of Christ, nor do they claim to come in his name. So the problem I have with that is that it's mentioned several times that in the Bible, demons know who Jesus is. They call him the Son of God. The demoniac even makes the statement, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High?" So demons affirm the fact that Christ is the Son of God.
Oh, sure.
Now, they never, never claim to come in his name. That's a true statement. But as far as the not affirming his deity, demons, every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Christ is Lord. So I'm totally against that one.
So Ryan commented about the Titans, think there is so many different stories about them that the gods came from the gods.
So I was backwards. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Next one. Okay, this one's a little lengthy. Aliens change their stories to delude man into believing their lies. One example of this is that before man had been to outer space or sent satellites there, aliens would claim to be from planets such as Jupiter in our solar system. But as we know now, there's nothing that can live on Jupiter. There's nothing there. So, again, I kind of see the comparison there because, demons, whenever they try to infiltrate your mind and your life, they will tell you anything to get you hooked, to get you interested. No thoughts? Do what? Oh my
gosh. The ceiling fan keeps rubbing my hair. It's itching my face.
Aliens change...
I'm going to have to see it.
Read number 3.
Okay. Aliens change their stories to delude man into believing their lies. So one example is that before man had been to outer space or sent satellites there, aliens would claim to be from... Oh, right, yeah. We realize that no one can live... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
And Nick says, lies are best when they seem somewhat in the realm of possibility.
Well, absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely. There's always a tad bit of truth. I mean, in this case, the tad bit of truth was that there is an actual planet of Jupiter.
Y'all might get blinded. I'm going to turn a light on.
I think it might shine in the camera. Whoops.
Is that too bright, y'all?
I don't know. I may have to reconfigure, but.
If it gets to be too bright for you guys, we can move around. It's just getting to a point where you're not going to be able to see us, which, I mean, might
It's
be
a
a good
lightning
thing.
ball. Is that it?
Ball lightning.
Oh,
Not lightning ball. Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Lord. Nick says, so in the past, a nearby planet would seem a bit more believable than another galaxy and so on. And that's another interesting thing that I didn't read the whole thing there because it was really, really long. But now when anybody interacts with someone from another planet, they're not from anything in this solar system anymore. They're from Andromeda or something like that. They're from somewhere that is humanly impossible for us to get to. So, I mean, we've sent out satellites and everything to every area in this
Orb. That's a big orb.
Into every planet in our solar system. I'm still going to say 9 planets. I don't care what people think. Pluto's a planet as far as I'm concerned.
I thought it went back to being a planet.
I don't know. But even when they didn't have it as a planet, I call it a planet. So, NASA.
Wow.
9 planets.
Aren't you just going against the grain?
Right. You want to get really crazy, we'll talk about Nibiru one dot. Do you know that story?
I don't want to.
For those of you that don't, Nibiru is evidently a planet on the other side of the sun that has the same orbit as the Earth, and is at some point is hidden by the sun, but at some point in future it's going to collide and cause the Earth just total catastrophic destruction.
We need T-shirts that say Pluto for life. I like it.
Nick already came up with the Guestigator thing. We can't give him any more credit.
Hey, he could be our T-shirt guy, our slogan guy. I'm good with that.
Nick, do you want to roll on this team? It doesn't pay anything, but we can get you in. Really, we know some people.
God.
All right. So let's go on to the next tidbit here. It says, though aliens are said to be advanced, it seems they need us for survival, just as fallen angels need human beings to prey on. This kind of goes back to the whole, again, if you ever notice whenever there is the story of an abduction, something got taken or something got worked on. They stuck a probe in their eyeball. You thought I was going somewhere else. They cut open their stomach. They've, taken something from them. It's just, it's hard to believe that something as advanced as an alien species or, a demonic entity would, be trying to, that as advanced and high as they're supposed to be, would need anything from us. So I found that kind of...
Smoke and shadows.
We're smoking what?
Shadows.
I've never smoked a shadow before. Is it any good?
What?
I think the term you're looking for is smoke and mirrors.
No, smoke and shadows.
Okay. Smoke and shadows it is.
I know what's in my head.
All right. Oh, and actually...
Wait. Audra is replying to Nick, saying, demons and devils seek to turn us against God and make our lives miserable. I know this firsthand. Oh, yeah, we do too, Audra. For sure. Smoke and shadows or smoke and shadows.
See, I was going for the latter. Smoke and shadows, man.
Yeah, demonic is definitely, their sole purpose is to just destroy. Period.
And that's actually something that comes up down the list a little bit further. This one I came up with, and I don't have any evidence of this. But alien abductions are stopped by invoking the name of Jesus.
I've never heard that either.
I
Not
haven't
for aliens.
No, now obviously, using the name of Jesus when dealing with a demonic attack, I mean, that's one of the first, pieces of advice that we give to people, is because demons, even though they are, below the earth, under the earth, running to and fro on the earth, they still have to recognize the deity of Christ and who he is. And again, that goes back to that thing earlier about not recognizing the deity of Christ. Demons very clearly recognize it. They have to.
Like we will all one day have to.
Right.
So, I mean, whether you believe or not, it doesn't change the fact that that is a truth.
Now, Leah, there's something that you were... I hate to put you on the spot. There was this makes me think of something you were telling me about the other day in one of your studies, talking about... what was it?
Oh, boy.
Hold on. Maybe if I look back over this, it'll remind me. About the difference between a fallen angel and a demon.
Oh, man.
Because a lot of people want to put them hand in hand, and they're not.
Right.
And it was about the Nephilim and the Achaean, the giants.
Right.
I mean, if you can't remember it, that's fine.
I don't want to get it wrong.
It was just really good.
Right. So, was it... I'll have to double check, and we may even do like a separate study on this because there's so much information that went along with it. But was it the fact that when the giants died? I don't want to get it wrong. I'm just gonna wait.
I mean, I can tell you what I'm pretty sure what you said.
Okay.
Was that the so you've got the fallen angels. They are the ones that were thrown out of heaven. The third of the angels that were thrown out of heaven with Lucifer during the fall, during the beginning of what people refer to as pre-Adamite society. Whenever they came down, that was the third of the angels. They were the fallen angels.
Right.
What we know as demons are the spirits of the giants. Because you're looking at an angel that has taken a human form, because they can't interact. Angels. If you've ever been blessed to see an angel, I have not. You're gonna really tell they are not human. I've heard examples of them being 8 feet tall, stuff like that. So in order to interact with a human to mate, as it were, they had to take on flesh to do so. So you're looking at an amalgamation, a hybrid of a human with a spiritual being. And I believe the theory was, and again, I think this would be a really good topic for an upcoming live.
There was so much information because it even branched out into, if you were, I guess, kind of not on board with that theology, that it even went to how the angels had to take on a human form when they came to Sodom and Gomorrah, because, how in the world, if they were presented as spiritual beings, then why would the crowd try to have sex with them? They had to come in a type of human form. So maybe next month, if that's something that you're interested in, I think I'll present that there's so much information and just the different origins of things and the way it was pieced together, everything just clicked and was in order. So I don't want to present anything and get something wrong and cause confusion.
Right.
But if that's something that you're interested in, then I would love to share that, because it was just kind of it was mind blowing.
I had never thought
about a lot of it.
I never thought about the fallen, because I guess throughout your life you kind of, you consider them synonymous. A fallen angel is a demon. But that may not be the case based on this study. So I think I would really like for that to be the next month's topic.
Yeah, okay. I'll do it.
Cool. All right. So, where was I? something I skipped. Another theory. Oh,
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go
Just
ahead.
something I was thinking about, along that lines. Again, I was just there's two different things. One being the fallen angels is I don't know if you have any sensitivity or discernment. That I know that there's places that we've been in where Mike or whomever is with us has asked, can you tell an age of something? And sometimes I'll say it's ancient. It feels ancient. And then there's other times I've said that it's always been like there wasn't like an exact age to it. And it was talking about how that really clicked and made sense with me, because the fallen angels, as being not having an age, they've just always been. Whereas
no comprehension of our time.
Whereas these demons that they were born in an ancient time. So so you see, there's a lot of information, a lot of really interesting kind of twists and turns and just things that kind of click together, puzzle pieces that was really interesting, and of course definitely biblically backed. But it was just really cool. That's just one of the things that kind of, I don't know, just clicked for me personally, because I never really understood that. And as we go through these different things and encounter different things, depending on what's going on in people's homes or whatever, there's just something that I don't understand. But as you do these Bible studies and you get into these different teachings, then it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's why I really couldn't put an age. It just felt like it's always been, or as opposed to, well, this just feels really old.
So let me ask you this, and again, guys, please chime in with this, because this is just me thinking, wheels turning. So with that aspect, would you say that that a fallen angel would be obviously probably of a higher class?
Well, see, that's why
higher rank.
I think it addressed it in this teaching. I think I remember something about it being more like principality type things that we've talked about before. And then I want to get all my ducks in a row before, we throw it out there to you guys.
It just makes me wonder here, like, if that's the case, because, I mean, even what I've read, what I've studied in the Bible, because you hear about it in the book of Daniel, when Gabriel was coming to Daniel after the 21-day fast, he said, I was hindered for 21 days by a demon prince of Persia. Well, that prince of Persia was a principality spirit that was over Persia at that time. So generally, principalities, higher level, darker spirits. Because again, I'm going to try to steer away from using that term demon interchangeably now. Higher level members of Satan's army, we'll put it that way, generally are your principality spirits. So I wonder how that hierarchy comes down, because you got principalities, spirits, stuff in the darkness. We've dealt with everything from imp-style creatures to like full-blown, big bads. Just wondering how those play out. That would be. I wonder if your study has anything about that. That would be very interesting.
I think it honestly addresses all of that. I'll have to, definitely. There was just so much information that was packed in such a short time frame that it was. You got to listen and read through and go through everything to really, I guess, absorb all of it. There was just some things that just immediately impressed upon me, because I could immediately relate it to personal experience. So I definitely want to share that, because it was very insightful and really answered a lot of questions for me. So hopefully that if you have any questions, this may address that, or maybe even present things that you have never thought of before that does have a biblical basis.
Okay, so Ryan posted, some believe Lilith and Satan equal demons. Now, the only part of that I'm going to disagree with is Satan is Lucifer, and it's clear in the Bible that Lucifer was a fallen angel. He was the chief fallen angel that was thrown down. Lilith, I don't know if I've brought up Lilith before in the past, but
I don't think so.
I'm very. If Lilith is anything, I would say if there is an entity at all that has been known as Lilith in the past, it's demonic. Are you familiar?
No, not at all.
Okay, so there are those that believe, and I'm not treading on
Excuse me.
anybody's beliefs. It's not in the Bible that I read, that Adam had a wife before Eve.
Oh, okay.
And
I've never heard that.
her name was Lilith, and Lilith, and I don't know I can't think of the full story right now, but most people consider her like queen of the vampires, stuff like that. She is, in a lot of ways, she is portrayed as like a Jezebel type character, or even a succubus type thing. Anytime I've ever seen portrayals of her, she's usually nude carrying a snake. It's just...
Huh, I wonder where the origin of that has come from.
I don't know, because like I said, it's not in the Bible that we have. I've also studied and read Jewish history, and which also...
it's not anything in the Apocrypha? Or...
No, because I've got a Bible with the Apocrypha in it, and I've read Josephus, and I've been reading in the book of Enoch right now, and I don't know where it would have come from. So, Ryan, that might be something that you can fill us in on, kind of where that started, because in anything as far as the Bible goes, it's always been, God created Adam, and then he said, man should not be alone, let's create him a companion. He takes out the rib, creates Eve, and Adam wakes up, looks at her, and goes, "Woo, man!" And that's how woman became.
Blessed be his name.
I'm sorry, it's one of my favorite stories, favorite jokes.
Oh, I bet. I bet you. It's a hoot for you.
Man. Anyway.
That's interesting. I mean, I personally don't believe that, but I mean, I would be just interested in
where it came from.
Yeah, the story of it, because I've honestly never heard of that before. Interesting.
But I do believe it to be demonic. I mean, it's just like, even though Jezebel is talked about in the Bible in Kings, 1st, 2nd Kings, she's also brought up in the book of Revelation. So, Jezebel's talked about in the book of Revelation.
Oh, you're talking about Jezebel.
Yeah, Jezebel, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Lilith would be a demon.
Well,
like Jezebel.
I mean, Jezebel
like is a spirit.
Is a spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this one kind of, again, goes... I feel like Nick kind of read my notes when he made his comment.
Maybe he did.
Aliens bring ideas to Earth that will help man unite worldwide for a new era of consciousness. This uniting prepares the way for their leader, who, from a demonic standpoint, is very possibly the Antichrist, by making mankind forget their religion. If you've ever noticed, those of you that are old enough to remember the Heaven's Gate cult, that was back in 1997, brief history lesson. A comet known as Hale-Bopp came into Earth's atmosphere. It was visible for...
Known as what?
Hale-Bopp. It was named after the two men that discovered it.
It's Hale-Bopp.
No. Hale, H-A-L-E, Bopp, B-O-P-P.
Sounds like a children's album. Oh, that's Kids Bop.
Sung by Hanson.
You mean it wasn't Hale-Bopp?
No, that's a hairstyle, isn't it?
Is it?
No.
What the?
So.
Are you sure it's Bop?
Look it up while I'm talking. You've got it. You've got your tablet. Look it up. Hale-Bopp.
I mean, it was bad anyway, but that just...
Nick just typed it. Look, there it is.
Wow. That's really disheartening for me. I've Hale-Bopped it all these years.
That's crazy.
So, Bob, there you go.
I can't look at you right now. So, the Heaven's Gate cult, they believed that comet, which was visible for multiple weeks in the sky, I actually got to see it, that there was a alien... Do what?
Nothing.
That there was an alien spacecraft, a mothership, that was traveling in the dust cloud being left, the dust trail left behind by the comet. And so the Heaven's Gate cult believed in a higher being that was the creator.
King Bop?
No. The comet was named after the people that found it. It had nothing to do with the religion.
Oh.
So they were led to believe in this system that this higher alien brother was what we were trying to become, and that we would transcendentalize this mortal coil and become this alien being. And in order to do so, whenever the ship came through behind the comet, they committed suicide, mass suicide. So I mean, that's just an example. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait for it, Nick.
I'm sorry. There is. What does he say?
Don't worry, Hell Bob will be back around the year 4385.
So.
Wait.
Oh, he's talking about Lilith. Go ahead, read that.
So, not sure where it came from, but the story goes she was made from the dirt as well, and thought she should not have to follow Adam as the head of the family. She thought she should be the same and left and had relations with Satan. That is where demons come from.
Oh, so that's what he meant by Satan. He was Satan and Lilith created demons.
Oh, I see.
I see where he's coming from.
Oh, okay. All right. So she was, I guess, the founder of the feminist movement.
Wow, the sacred feminine?
Guess so. Interesting. I mean, wow, I've just never heard of that.
Right. I had not, like I said, I know bits and pieces of it, but I wasn't sure. What?
Do we need to turn around so the light's shining on our face?
We can.
Okay.
We're going to change our setup, guys. Bear with us just a second. I need to uncross my legs anyway. Back's hurt.
I know. I want to stretch my legs out. Oh, boy. There's people in the living room, so we're trying not to disturb them and still do our little shindig here. Okay.
Oh.
I'll just have to... Oh, come here.
No, whatever that is, it stinks.
Come on, they're waiting. Okay. I'll just have to hold it. Get off the cord. Oh, this is horrible.
I know, right? I feel like I'm in a police lineup right now.
What if we just put our backs to that? Let's just do that.
How? Yeah, I'm suddenly taken back to this old radio show I used to be on.
Oh, heavens.
Where
Well, at least we didn't have to see y'all acting cuckoo. Oh.
Guys, this is what happens when you don't have the internet. You got to rely on other places.
Hey, we're just rolling with it, okay? We're just rolling with it. All right. You're going to have to sit up. Now act right.
Yes, Mom.
Okay.
All right, so
Get up here.
making that comparison again between the whole alien and
Get up here.
I got to lean in. The whole alien and demon thing about taking what was it I said? The idea is to help man unite worldwide for a new area of consciousness. Again, it's taking your focus off of Christ. Anytime, most people, whenever they deal with something demonic, usually we've dealt with cases where someone has been promised something, promised power, promised wealth, prestige, something like that, in exchange for something. Again, that's what a lot of the New Age stuff is about, unfortunately. So I can kind of see the similarity there between the demon and the alien. Let's see. Aliens often contact New Agers and occultists as opposed to Christians. Now,
What was that? I'm sorry.
Aliens, now keep in mind, okay, aliens often contact New Agers and people that are with the New Age movement and occultists as opposed to Christians. So that's saying that demons only deal with people that are, well, if we flip this on its side, demons only deal with people that are dealing with the occult. It's not true. Some of the most pious, I know that's an old term, Christian people that I know have dealt with demonic attack. Again, it all comes back to the demon is trying to get your focus off where it needs to be. And that's why it has, somehow or another, it has been allowed to come into your life or to your home, and therefore it has, affected your life in such a way that you can't put your eyes on God anymore. You are focused on your infirmity or the noise, the sounds, the way things are going on in your home. You're in total depression all the time. You can't see the light of God for the darkness that's in front of you. Very much a demonic thing. Are you just going to keep the camera on me the whole time now?
You're the only one talking.
Oh.
And my arm's only so long.
It wouldn't help if I did it any longer. Aliens are not opposed to being worshipped by humans. That's not a surprise there. We have all sorts of, what people would call devil worship. I could go as far as even saying, to your theory earlier with the gods and the Greek gods and whatnot, then, that could have been a form of demon worship back then, because, again, it's not of God. So,
oh, sorry.
And this is the last good one that I got. One more after this one, and it's funny, but this one I thought was actually an interesting point. Aliens give man technology, but these quote unquote advancements are usually destructive. So if you look at anything that, again, demons and whatnot want to do things, want to give you information, want to give you knowledge for your life that's probably not going to be very helpful. It may seem so in the beginning. You may, make a deal with one and say, hey, I want to have all these women, just using a simplified version here, and you get what you want, but then in the end you end up with, multiple children to deal with, some type of STD, broke, out of your mind, and sick. So, you literally pay for what you get. So was an interesting theory, I thought. Again, making that parallel between is an alien a demon or whatnot? Again, I'm not sure. Would really, really love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. I'll give you the last one, and I laughed out loud when I read this one. Aliens often emit horrible odors, such as sulfur, because aliens just stink, man. No. I thought that one was funny, because I think most people that have dealt with anything demonic, they've smelt that smell. They know what it is. It smells like rotting flesh, sulfur mixed with it. I know Leah has dealt with it multiple times. Those that can discern spirits are very familiar with it. So evidently, again, I've never dealt with an alien before, never met
It's
one.
all that corn.
Well, when they come down with the crop circles, we don't know how much corn they're taking with them. So
I like corn.
I know. You always get to see it the next day, or the day after, or whatever. It comes back. But I know some of these were just outright ridiculous. But it's really, I found it to be interesting because I didn't realize that it was there's a lot of people out there that think that, and I could see it. I could see that it's, as we have evolved as a species, and I use the term evolved loosely because I don't believe in evolution, as far as, the mental evolvement, as far as technology, how we get about, what we do, what we read, the enemy has to come up with more elaborate things to get our attention, so to speak. And what better way than to come out and say that, there's life on other planets. Hey, I'm from another planet. I'm not really, but you don't know that. Because if you look at the first UFO on record crash was 1947, Roswell, New Mexico. It was in the middle of the dawn of the nuclear age. The old tricks and trials couldn't work anymore. People, if the devil's going to try to get your mind off of God, and when something like that, you're going to have to up that ante. It's like, okay, so they're fixing to take a huge leap in advancement as far as technology goes. I'm going to have to make the same game with the lies that I tell. So, hey, God, we come from another planet, and we've got all this knowledge that we're going to give you. It's the same lie that's been told since the beginning of time. Satan said the same thing to Adam and Eve in the garden, promised some of them knowledge from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we saw where that ended up. So, I'm getting on a soapbox here. Leah Cloud finally joined us tonight.
Hello, Leah.
But guys, I know I've rambled. This has not been a typical topic because...
Sorry for the little unprofessional setting.
Yeah, again, no internet, so...
We're trying to do the best we can. Hopefully next month will be better.
Right, if we don't have our internet back by next month, then I'm going to be knocking on an office door somewhere. If I don't have the internet back by next week, I'm probably going to be knocking on an office door somewhere. But real quick, guys, again, this was a discussion, more so video than usual.
Yeah,
Not really.
and thank y'all so much for making so many comments. We appreciate that. We love that interaction.
Definitely.
Because, just like, hopefully y'all are learning things from us. Like, I was learning things from you guys. Several of these things I had not heard of.
Right.
And evidently have been pronouncing incorrectly for...
Hail Bob.
For many years.
Hail Bob!
Well, it sounds more trustworthy. If it was Hail Bob, Bop, I just think of Kids Bop.
But no, the comet was named after the two people that discovered it.
Well, I know how comets are named. I'm just saying, who's the fella that their last name is Bop? Bless his heart.
Well, I think Nick already looked this up, but I want to see it too. And I mistyped it. I typed Hail Boop. Oh.
That's Betty.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Alan Hale and Thomas Bop.
Poor old Thomas.
So, had he been a DJ, he'd have been Tommy Bop.
DJ Bop.
DJ Tommy Bop. Wow. Okay, while I've got this up here. Guys, give us some thoughts. Give us some feedbacks on this setup tonight. Other than where we're set up, but as far as the topic. We normally, most of our topics is us just sitting here giving out information, which, that first and foremost, we're here to educate. That's one of the main parts of our mission statement is to educate. But in a way, this is educational too, because I like a good discussion, a healthy debate on things sometimes, because this kind of stemmed from some conversations at my workplace, also with some stuff that I, again, have read. Like I said, Leah and I went to church with a guy that was heavily into this, thinking, that all demonic activity or all alien activity were actually demons portraying themselves. But, I don't want, like Leah said in the beginning, we don't want to go out of our way and say that everything is demonic. There are instances out there where what you're seeing is real, but it's not what you think it is.
And plus, I mean, we're in a time now that, I mean, we'll be seeing signs and different things in the skies and in the heavenlies.
Right.
So I mean, we're gonna be seeing some strange things.
And now is the time to be aware of what you're going to see. I mean, because I think another thing that I had read about was that there are people that believe that, like, when the Antichrist comes, that he's going to be in the form of an alien, because he's going to be a supernatural being when he comes back. Again, I'm not buying that, but again, who's to say that that's not a lie that could be told? You know, if you know, it's whoa.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you just got to be aware of what you're dealing with.
Stay strong and rooted in the Word.
Yeah.
And God will reveal these things to you. Don't be blindsided and listen to the things around you, especially the news. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
that's it's difficult to say that, because a lot of people take things at face value.
Absolutely.
And that's unfortunately that's probably one of the greatest weapons the devil can use against you, is to take something at face value, because a lie is something that's taken at face value. I mean, point blank. So you just got to be careful with stuff like that. Ball lightning. Unexplained atmospheric electrical phenomenon described as luminescent spherical objects that vary from pea-sized to several meters in diameter. They are usually associated with thunderstorms.
Okay.
I've never seen it before, but Leah has seen lightning balls before. All right. Well, we only lasted an hour tonight. Good one. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, apologize for the setup. Maybe next month we'll be back home with our usual grind. If anybody has any questions or anything that they as they watch this, if there's anything that they want to comment on, put I hate to say hashtag, but this is what everybody does. Comment #replay, and then ask your question or put in your comment, and we can get back to you. We do go back and read these after the video is over, so we can continue this conversation next month. I do hope that Leah presents the topic she talked about, because I think it's going to be a really good one, something I'm interested in. So I will be learning with the rest of y'all if that's what she does.
That's the goal.
So if anybody's got anything to say, we're going to go ahead and sign off.
See you next time.
Say bye, Leah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.